3 months ago, I changed my relationship to scrolling, and surprise, I've not been doing great with screens again. The difference is, this time, I'm spending more time watching YouTube on my TV or spending evenings in bed scrolling on my iPad. So my screen time is way better than before. I was sitting at around 6.5 hours a day, and now I'm closer to 2.5 hours, but that's still feeling like too much. And the one hobby I currently have that makes me feel really good consistently is reading. But my reading has significantly slowed down. So this week, I'm collaborating with the amazing Faith, or Faith's Reading Things on YouTube, to do a challenge. We gave each other 5 recommendations for fast-paced and attention-grabbing books. We'll spend 15 minutes reading a book, and if we don't feel sucked in, we put it down. I feel like I always feel really guilty when I start reading a book and I don't like it right away, and I end up slowly stop reading it and falling out of reading altogether, or I force myself to finish it, but then I don't feel good afterwards. So in an effort to restore my relationship with reading and reduce my relationship to screens, let's hear Faith's first recommendation.
Okay, I think the first one I'm going to show you is Pines by Blake Crouch. And yes, I just read this in one of my more recent videos. And the reason I picked this is because, well, like, first of all, with ADHD in general, I feel like it's really, really hard for me to like start books. Like just the starting part of it in general is like excruciating. So like the beginning has to be gripping, and so this is kind of like the John Mars one, where like that first chapter you're just kind of like thrown into some chaos and you don't know what's going on, where we're at, like, so you're just immediately kind of hooked. So
surprise, I got my book. I decided to start with Pines because Faith's recommendation of this was like so high. I have no clue what the storyline is at all. I'm going into this completely blind, and I'm gonna leave it that way. I'm actually not even gonna read the back of it, but it's pretty small, which is nice. It's only about 286 pages long. I tend to read books closer to 400 pages, so this feels very enticing to like pick up. I feel like smaller books tend to be ADHD friendly on the get-go because they're not as intimidating. So I don't have a ton of time to read this evening, but I do have 15 minutes, and that's what this whole challenge is about. So I'm gonna start with 15 minutes of this and see if it pulls me in and if I want to continue reading it or not. And if I don't, I'm gonna get a new one. And if I do, I'm gonna read the whole thing and then pick a different one from this list. So let's see. Okay, so I made it to page 24. I've read this very, very quickly. It's a very easy initial read, which is great, helpful to get into a book when the writing is just good. Am I gripped? I don't know. Am I intrigued? Yes. Yes, I am. Essentially, we are very much thrown into the depths of this story immediately. It's essentially this secret agent who has like completely lost his memory, and we have no idea what has happened to him. And I'll say by page 24, we really don't know much else. I think that I'm more intrigued by Faith's reaction to reading this that tells me that the rest of this book is going to be really good. I am tempted, just for the basis of what this challenge is, to get one of the other books and read 15 minutes of that one and see if I feel more drawn to reading the rest of this or more drawn to reading another one.
What do you think you're doing? You're past your 15 minutes.
I was just reading to the next chapter. I swear. Oops. Yeah, so it's still the same night, and I am still, in fact, reading. I didn't get to like a nice stopping point with the book. I ended at like the middle of a chapter, so I decided to keep reading. Now I am very intrigued. Now I want to know what happens. So I'm gonna finish this chapter, but I'm gonna be thinking about this. Let's take a quick pause to thank the sponsor of this week's video, AccuFlow. When it comes to partnering with companies, it's so important to me that it is something that I actually use, and AccuFlow is something that I genuinely use every single day. This is by far the best system I have found for my ADHD brain to allow all of the things I have going on organizationally and put it into one place. Like I said, I use this day to day to tell me what to do when. So one of the pieces I like is that I can brain dump here all of the things that I need to do in a day. For example, let's say that I need to stop being stinky, you know, normal things. Now, I can have all of these to-dos stay here and exist here if I want them just right in front of me. But one of my favorite things that you can do is you can drag them into specific days. I can actually drag these tasks into specific time slots to live wherever I want them to live throughout the day to really keep me on schedule to make sure that I get these things done. If you are like me and you struggle with having too many things in too many different places and you need them all to exist somewhere, make AccuFlow your source of truth like I have made it mine. Thank you, AccuFlow, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. So I ended up reading to about page 45 and I'm intrigued, to say the least. I love when a book kind of pulls this like detective mode out of me where I'm like, what's happening? Who are you? You're suspicious. And that is exactly what this book is doing. I'm very suspicious of our leading man in this book, and I want to know what happens now. I'm gonna do some more reading this morning, and I'm really looking forward to it because I want more proof for the outcomes that I think are gonna happen. Like, I have ideas, I have guesses. They could be so wrong, but I need to play detective. I just spit everywhere. So yesterday I got to page 100 with Pines, and thus far I am very much enjoying it. It definitely has a interesting plot. It's one of those books where you're constantly dying to know what the fuck is going on. At the same time, prior to starting this video, I was already reading Book Lovers, which is actually one of the books that I suggested in Faith's video. So if you want to hear what she thinks of it, go over and watch her video now. But I'm also really loving this thus far. I suggested it because I've been reading it and it's so good. I'm really enjoying it. It's just like sweet and hilarious and like an easy read. So I am doing a little bit of reading of this today, but I'm definitely gonna get to Pines later this evening. This book has truly become all-consuming of my life. I am reading at any possible moment because I have to know what happens in this book. And when I get to a point where I am reading in the car because I cannot wait to know what happens next, you know it's a good book. So Bailey and I went to a lake one day and I was just reading the entire time and it was really soft and gentle and wonderful. And then the second that I got home, it was like, okay, we got to get in this and we got to get to finishing this as soon as possible. Yeah, it's a crazy book. Hi there. Book time. I have been reading all afternoon and I am now at page 234. And Bailey can attest behind the camera that this has been one of the craziest just experiences to read. The amount of times I'm literally 50 pages left, and I don't know what could possibly happen. Wow, the drama. I got up super early this morning to finish Pines because this book is actually insane. Wild book. I highly suggest reading this book if you're a fan of things like Maze Runner, for example. Not exactly the same vibes, but like gives you the same feeling. I'm rating it a 5 out of 5 stars, which I haven't had a 5-star read in a little while now. I would recommend this to anyone. It's so fun. It's so fast paced. It's so wild. You spend so much of this book just simply feeling confused, and I love that. But like confused in the fun way, not in the am I stupid way. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Now, I have 2 books on this list, one of which is coming tomorrow, but I wanted to do 15 minutes of each book and then decide based on which book pulled me in those 15 minutes better.
Actually, I think my next one is Never Lie by Frida McFadden, but I don't have the actual copy. The only thing that is kind of sucky about this right now is that it's set in winter, but it's summer right now. So like seasonally it's not relevant, but that book hooked. Like, and then the ending, like I know the beginning might not be like the most fast-paced thing, but you're still like intrigued. Like she just does things and says things where it's like, what's going on there? So like you're thinking about that the whole time.
It has come time now again for us to try our 15-minute challenge with reading 2 different books this time, and then I'm going to pick which one is more enticing based on that 15-minute reading. Similar to Pines, I have no background information on this book whatsoever. Thus far, it definitely has like spooky type vibes, which can be really fun. I don't know if I'm in the mood for spooky vibes right now, to be honest. This is just very much like, ooh, I don't know if I'm in a ooh mood. So I am really now excited to try Dark Matter. Again, no idea what this one's about.
My last one that I have for you is another Blake Crouch, and that is Dark Matter. So this one, it doesn't start quite as like fast paced, but you're still like, I feel like the intrigue is there to where you're so curious. So it's like not necessarily the pacing, like the pacing gets really quick, like in the middle and like towards the end. But the entire like first part, you're just like, what is happening? And it's like that question where you're just like questioning everything. And I don't know, I love that. So
it's the next day. I was definitely intending on reading Dark Matter outside yesterday, but there were too many bugs and too many people around, and I got overstimulated, and then I went home. So it's a new day. So I'm going to read 15 minutes of Dark Matter by Blake Crouch now, and I'm going to decide between that book or Never Lie by Frida McFadden and decide what my next read is going to be. Okay, timer just went off and I want to keep reading. This is a great sign. This is a great sign. I think it also helps that I didn't get to a pause point like I did when I read Pines, and I just want to keep reading because it's immediately really interesting. So I'm going to read to the next chapter, I think, and see how I feel from there. But this is immediately more intriguing to me than Never Lie. Holy shit. I'm going to read till the next chapter and then see how I feel. So I ended up reading to page 30 of Dark Matter, and yeah, this is the one. This is the vibe. Turns out I love Blake Crouch's writing. So I think I'm going to end up flying through this to finish up this video. So cue the reading montage. Wait! Pause the reading montage because truthfully this video goes out tomorrow and I have not finished this book. Truthfully, I finished reading Book Lovers during this week, which meant that I didn't prioritize finishing Dark Matter, but that's not because this isn't an amazing book. It is. I'm hooked. But really at the end of this challenge, what I'm being left with is this reminder that you can try things for a short period of time. It's not this all or nothing. ADHDers, I'm talking to you. Also, I got a new prescription, so tell me that these look cute, because I'm nervous about them. But realistically, I'm leaving this with this reminder of I can really do anything for 15 minutes and see if I like it. And if I don't have to keep doing it. That's cool. That's cool. A few notes on Dark Matter. This book's fucking insane. I am so obsessed with this, and what I'm realizing is that science fiction is a genre I have not tackled at all. Turns out, love science fiction. I'm so happy that I did this video, and Faith, girl, your recommendations were wild. Thank you for introducing me to this author because I don't know that I would have read his books otherwise. So if there's anything that you can take from this video, I really hope that it is that reminder that you can try something for a short period of time and then form an opinion on it, instead of feeling that guilt of not liking something right away and feeling like you just have to do it anyways. And if you do want to hear my final opinion of Dark Matter, go follow me on Instagram. I actually post all of my reviews of every book I read on my Instagram story, and I have a highlight in my profile so you can see them all there. I cannot wait to keep reading this. I think I've gotten to page 183 in about 24 hours, so I think it's good. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is a different style than I usually do, and so I am so curious how you liked it, what you thought of it, and I love getting your book recommendations, so please put them in the comments below. What book do you think I need to try this 15-minute challenge for, and you think that I will fall in love with after reading just a short period of it? Thank you again, AkiFlow, for sponsoring this video. Your continuous support is so appreciated. We love you. And as always, I am so proud of you for putting in the work to yourself, because nobody else is gonna do it for you. So it's pretty fucking cool you're doing it for yourself. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!